Welcome everyone. I'm Teresa Beasley, the Commercial and Training Manager for the Lighting Industry Association. I'm joined today by Chris Oldham. So Chris, if I can hand over to you for a quick introduction.
Thanks, Teresa. Thanks all. So I'm Chris Oldham. I'm the Senior Policy and Programme Manager at the City of London Corporation, and I'm the Programme Lead for the Skills for a Sustainable Skyline Task Force. And the Skyline Task Force is a collaborative industry effort with 350 built environment firms, including LAA, of course, to look at how we can make sure that we have access to a green skilled workforce to decarbonise all of our buildings, particularly commercial buildings.
What an introduction. So we're here today to chat about the Future Skills Commitment, something that the LIA itself has actually signed up for and advocates. So let's kick off with that. What was the real driver behind launching that commitment? What kind of gap or challenge were we trying to close? And how do industries currently attract, retain and develop talent? So give us a bit of background, Chris.
So to take a step backwards, so this piece of work came about from the Skyline Task Force, Skills for Sustainable Skyline Task Force, which was convened in 2022, just after the pandemic. And basically the essay question originally, which is fair to say has expanded since then, was how do we, focusing on central London, because we are city corporation, and focusing on a commercial built environment, how do we attract a green skills workforce to decarbonise these office buildings? And just a word of definitions, when I say green skills worker, we're talking about every single built environment worker, all the way from your project design people, your architects, your quantity surveyors, your construction people, your trades, and many LAA members may count themselves as part of that sector. Your retrofit sector, retrofit increasingly important. We know many lighting trades involved in retrofitting and refurbishing buildings to expand their life. And then building in-use operations sector to actually run these buildings, including lighting, in a way that is more efficient, reducing waste, all of that good stuff. I am yet to be corrected on the following statement, which is that we need more of every single built environment worker. So when I say green skills worker, I do in fact mean everyone. And a huge challenge around how do we upskill and reskill people working already in the sector around understanding how sustainability affects their role for everybody, but also around attracting new entrants. And we did some research for the Skyline Task Force back in 2023 called the Skyline Skills Recommendations Report, definitely worth a read there, which is trying to work out what's the scale of the green skills gap, again, focusing on London, focusing on commercial buildings. And we found, stats around that we need 250,000 additional workers in by 2030, and that's just for construction, just for commercial construction in central London. You look more widely and across the breadth of the built environment, and then across the UK regions and nations, and the number becomes staggering. We need to attract a heck of a lot of people into the sector, into these in need roles. So looking at that report, we published our Skyline Skills Hub back in 2024, which is our one-stop shop for green skills best practice, but very much saw it as the start of the conversation and not the end of it. And we thought, we need to do something particularly around that staggering figure, 250,000 workers in London alone, and then how do we go beyond just London? So the Future Skyline Skills Commitment, the commitments are all around how do we incentivize attraction and retention of new entrants, because we know this is a substantial amount of investment that we're asking firms to do, right? It's hard to bring in people who are brand new to the sector. We know particularly for Gen Z workers, many of them are not work ready and require lots of input to get them to a stage where they're adding value. We need to recognise what firms are doing in that area. And what the commitment's designed to do is be a free, non-legally binding industry pledge to recognise employers' existing efforts to attract and retain new entrants, be that via apprenticeships or direct employment or traineeships or work experience. It's going beyond expecting firms to do it for free and expecting them to do it without any recognition, and ignoring the significant investment of time and resource it takes to bring in new entrants that the sector desperately needs. So that's where we are, and we're very pleased to say we're up to 64 signatory firms so far,
Wow.
including LAA as one of our brilliant supporters, and we're very, very keen to boost that number as well. So it's
No, brilliant.
and the commitment is now back on the Skyline Skills Hub, our online platform for green skills best practice. So we're weaving everything together. So loads of free resources there to support our signatory firms with actually carrying out their various commitments to attract and retain new people.
And just a question about the commitment. So I know that it offers different levels. We've seen that ourselves. So from supporter through to leader. So for organisations that are thinking, where do we even start? What would you say to help them take that first step?
So the levels came about. It was the brainchild of Dr. Christy McCarthy, who's one of the built environment's most well respected, fair to say, EDI and sustainability specialists who had this idea around, what's the logical journey of attracting and retaining a new person. And then level one is all about how do we create safe and inclusive workspaces. Thinking about for your members, where do you begin? Well, actually, we know many firms already are working really hard to make sure what's happening on site is a workplace that anyone would want to come to work, regardless of your gender, ethnicity, sexuality, or anything else, that everyone feels welcome, everyone can come and add value and want to be there for a career. That's the dream, right? So level one is all about creating safe, inclusive workspaces. Again, we know many LAA members are already there, and that's old news. We've done that. Level two is going above and beyond that to how do we go into to tackle the awareness piece, going into schools and colleges and community groups and talking about what's your careers and training offer. We know awareness of built environment roles. This came back from our research that we did back in 2023 is super low. People just don't seem to understand that how lucrative actually many built environment roles can be. Compared with the retail sector, the care sector, and that link between what we're doing by reducing carbon emissions, particularly through lighting, more efficient lighting, is saving the planet. In London, our carbon emissions are 70% from the built environment. Right, so if you want to save the planet, you need to be in our sector, right? Doing it. That message doesn't get across, but we know many firms already, particularly LAA members, are already in there talking to young people, talking to communities about what their careers offer is. We would recognise it. That's level two. That's tackling awareness. Level three is actually hiring people, be that via an apprenticeship, a traineeship, a T level, just direct employment, whatever it may be. We want to recognise actually going above and beyond raising awareness to hiring a new person is a heck of a lot of work. And again, I know, Teresa, from our conversations that lots of your LAA members have really lent into the apprenticeship agenda and have brought in work experience. Level three is recognizing that. Again, it's looking at what you're already doing, not necessarily demanding that you do new stuff, but giving you a framework if you want to go above and beyond what you're already doing. It gives you that framework there and some free resources to help enable you to do that. But that's trying to say, well, what's already happening on the ground? How can we recognize existing work? And then level four, which is the final level, is all about then going above and beyond what's good for you as a business to collaborating with other built environment firms. Thinking about trade bodies like the LAA, how do we start working on those bigger green skills issues? Should we be engaging with government? We know through New Skills England body, they get that construction's one of the priorities. It's one of the industrial strategy priority sectors. Government are listening. Perhaps this could be a way for those firms to come together and start speaking to government with one voice. Also, we by no means think we've got all of our social value asks in the commitment across the four levels absolutely pitch perfect. I'm sure there's room there to improve them and to tighten them. Actually, one thing to say, but for your members, is we've differentiated the asks across the four levels, depending are you a client, are you a main contractor, are you a subcontractor? We actually allow FE providers to join as well. Obviously, what we're asking an FE provider to do is radically different to what we're asking a subcontractor to go and do. But we make sure that we're asking relevant things. Again, it's on the best endeavours basis, and we allow that flexibility. Subcontractor can mean many different things, and what may be appropriate for somebody hiring 200 people might not be quite right for someone hiring 2 or 3 people. So it's that best endeavours basis. We allow firms to apply it in a way that works for them. So my usual message to people is that, where do I start? Is okay. Well, are you at a stage where you've done some work around implementing EDI or inclusivity and safety strategies on site, that you're creating places where anyone can come into your site and feel safe, feel that they're part of the team and feel welcome. That's level one done, right? If you've already perhaps been out to a few schools and colleges and you started that piece of work, well, that's level two. But we do ask, by the way, that if you are on the further levels, that you've done the preceding ones as well. So if you're level three, you've done you've done most of level two and most of level one as well. We think that's fair. But I mean, many of the firms who've joined us have been level two, and that's a fair reflection about where they are. They've been working really hard to make sure that on-site conditions are pretty good place where everyone can work, and also they've done a bit of work going out to schools and colleges. And then the next step then is, do they have capacity to take on someone who's brand new, be it via an apprenticeship or just hiring a new person, mentoring them, supporting them, buddying them up, and making sure that they then want to stay in work and add some value in the long term and go and prosper. So
and
yeah,
I think that's key, because I know that many people who listen into this are going to be like, right, okay, so we always talk about future skills in terms of policy, which is great, but you've started on kind of answering this question, Chris. What are the real business benefits for organisations that do sign up beyond just doing the right thing?
It's pretty fair to say we have very, very big ambitions for this, and we've already got quite a few big building clients like Brookfield Properties and many others signed up to this. Our vision is that we start leaning heavily on main contractors and clients. Again, we've got Taylor Wimpey, Peabody, Mace, Multiplex all already signed up for this. Start implementing and integrating the commitment in their procurement. And the so what is we want subcontractors to be winning work off the back of their brilliant work and social value, right? This needs to be social value, and particularly around attraction of new entrants, needs to stop being something that you're just expected to do as an optional extra. There needs to be a solid return on investment and a solid business case that firms are making money and winning work off the back of this. And we want this commitment to be a way of exemplifying, we do social value. Well, what do you mean? Well, okay, well, I'm actually a level two, future Skyline skills commitment employer, and I'm committed to making sure that my workspaces are safe, friendly, reliable, and also talking about what careers are offers to local communities. And then on the back of that, winning work. The procurement piece for us is really critical. And my big push this year is trying to get as many main clients,
but aspirational.
Well, we've launched with we had 50, now we're on 64, and we launched at the start of the month. So we're moving at a fair rate of knots, and
which is brilliant to hear.
My personal target, which I don't mind sharing, is that by the end of the financial year, so we've got until March, I'd love to see 100.
Well, you heard it here first, eh?
So you can judge by
challenge.
That. Challenge.
Challenge to LIA members, definitely.
But again, because we've got many of the Skanska, Keltbray, Multiplex, May signed up to this. If we can encourage their supply chains to also really lean in, reflect on where they are, sign up for this, it's all free. There's absolutely no reason then why numbers couldn't get really big and geographically spread out as well. There's any UK built environment firm can join us. Already we've got the likes of firms in Leeds and elsewhere, way outside London. This needs to become a piece addressing the UK. Built environment skills gap, and not just a London piece. Otherwise, government won't care. I think the value will have.
And on that note, just kind of the final question from me: if somebody's watching this this kind of podcast-esque thing, how do they become part of it? What do they actually need to do to sign up?
So we very, very mindfully tried to make this as easy as humanly possible to sign up. Effectively, all I need is a single line in an email to say, yeah, we're interested. And if you think you might know, what level you want to be at, then that's great. If anyone Googles future Skyline skills commitment, you'll come up. The first one that comes up, it's a page on the Skyline Skills Hub. The page is skylinesskillshub.co.uk/future-skills-commitment. But again, if you give future Skyline skills commitment a Google, you'll come up with it straight away. Look at what level you want to be and give me an email. My email is Chris, CHRIS.Oldham, OLDHAM @cityoflondon.gov.uk. Chris.Oldham at cityoflondon.gov.uk. I need one line in an email. And if it's to say, yes, we're interested, and then my record of turning this around to get someone was 7 minutes on I think 2 email exchanges. So to LIA members, 2 minutes is the time to beat.
Brilliant.
This needs not to become something which is arduous, and there's no, also to say, there's no formal reporting. We will ask you to fill in, a one pager about bullet point form. What are you doing this year that'll work towards meeting those aspirations? Perhaps you've implemented an EDI strategy. I just need a bullet, don't need to see it. This needs to be based on trust, and to be done in a way that isn't creating loads more admin for people. Yeah. Everyone's busy, and we've tried very intentionally to make this as easy as humanly possible. So there's no sign up form. I just need an email. Yes, we're in, and that's you. And then you can come and join the journey and be our 65th member.
65th, yeah, or 100th. If we want to get really
100th is the 100th one. I mean, we'll have to have some sort of prize for the 100th member.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely brilliant, Chris. So thank you very much for joining us today, and thanks everyone who's listened. And we'll speak to you soon.
Look forward to it. Thanks so
Cheers.
much.
Thanks, Chris.
Cheers. Bye.